Welcome back to our mid-episode break, namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of the 25th anniversary of the Lost in Space movie, we're looking back at Lost in Space. Lost in Space is a 1998 science fiction movie based on the 1965 television series of the same name, starring Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, ripped to the max, from the Avengers franchise as Professor John Robinson, father, Honey Chandler from Bosch as Professor Maureen Robinson, mother, Felicity Shagwell from Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, as elder daughter, Judy Robinson, the voice of Eliza Thornberry from The Wild Thornberrys as younger daughter, Penny, Dr. Emil Nicholas from Morbius as an older version of son, Will Robinson, Joey Tribbiani from Friends as Major Don West, Sirius Black from the Harry Potter franchise as Dr. Smith, and cameos from the original series cast. In 2058, Earth is on the brink of being uninhabitable due to pollution and ozone depletion. To save humanity, the Robinson family and Major West are sent into space to find a new habitable planet in the Jupiter 2. The Robinsons have the usual cliché family problems: neglected son, rebel daughter, and a stowaway Dr. Smith who was betrayed by his terrorist comrades after they sabotaged the onboard robot to kill the family. Smith wakes up the Robinsons from cryosleep before that happens, and they manage to stop the robot, but not before tumbling out of control towards the sun, so they use the experimental hyperdrive to escape the sun's orbit and end up, wait for it, lost in space. At an unknown planet, they go through a space distortion and find two ships in orbit, one alien and one a human ship called the Proteus. Using the robot, they board the Proteus and find a star map to their original destination, Alpha Prime, along with a camouflage creature before getting attacked by spider creatures, one which scratches Dr. Smith. The robot gets sacrificed, but Will backs up its memory and also blows up the ship with the spiders on it, causing the Jupiter 2 to crash land. Will theorizes that the distortions are rifts in time, but Dad ignores him and goes exploring with Major West into one of the rifts. They find an older Will who is building a time machine because everyone else died besides himself and Dr. Smith. Also, Smith turned into a spider monster after getting scratched and became the father John never was to Will. But in reality, Smith killed the Robinsons, kept Will alive to build the time machine, and planned to use the time machine to travel back to Earth and repopulate it with his spider race. After Smith reveals he's still evil, John attacks him and wounds him, so the spider spawn will eat him because of plot convenience. Older Will and John watch the family try to escape the falling apart planet in the Jupiter 2, and they die, so old Will sends John back to just before that moment, and John listens to young Will's suggestion to go through the falling apart planet and use the gravity well to escape. The movie ends with them setting course for Alpha Prime as a family and Major West. And that's Lost in Space in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less. Join us again next Tuesday for another Namely 90s Minute. Remember, you can always hear these a day early in full episodes of Namely 90s on all major podcasting platforms, and most of the small ones too. Please subscribe and do all the other YouTube things. Bell ringing, share, like, subscribes, that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you next time.